There's been an update in the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds versus Wayfarer Studios and Justin Baldoni.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds just made an unexpected legal move that's catching Hollywood by surprise. What seemed like routine celebrity news quickly turned into a courtroom twist when the judge gave a response no one expected. Now, people are wondering what's really going on behind the scenes of this high-profile case.
So I don't see anybody reporting on this. There's been an update in the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds versus Wayfarer Studios and Justin Baldoni case. By the way, if you're not following this case and you are not in it, you can just keep scrolling. You don't have to leave a comment. You don't need to express yourself. Not everything on the internet needs to be for you. A lot of us are very invested. Okay, so interestingly enough, yesterday, Blake Lively's team filed essentially asking the judge for an extension to file their amendment. Okay, so just to slow that down for you. Blake Lively sued Wayfarer Studios. They then countersued them and were basically like, you guys are terrible. Here are the messages to prove it. And then Wayfarer Studios team essentially amended their complaint to include all of the stuff that us internet sleuths found about the New York Times, essentially showing that this article was a part of some larger scheme and that they had the data to prove it. So Blake Lively then said, when they showed up, well, we need time to now respond to their amendment. This New York Times amendment, some other things were added as well, but that was kind of the guts of it. And the judge said, okay, that's fine. You need to file your amendment. Her time to file that was supposed to be Valentine's Day. So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are due to file their amended complaint, just amending the original, shouldn't take much time, on February 14th.
Hold on tight. Hollywood's golden couple just dropped a legal bombshell. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have shaken up Tinseltown by asking the court for more time to file their complaint against Wayfarer Studios. That's right. The stars who seem to have it all suddenly need an extension, like asking for an extra day on a school paper. But why would two of the most polished A-listers be scrambling in a case they started? It's like arriving late to your own party. Something's off. Let's rewind. When this legal drama first made headlines, it had all the ingredients of a blockbuster. Blake and Ryan versus Wayfarer Studios. Power, prestige, suspense. But then came the twist. Wayfarer hit back with a countersuit, flipping the narrative and putting the couple on the defensive. Suddenly, this wasn't just a legal filing, it was a courtroom chess match. And now, instead of pushing forward, Blake and Ryan are asking for time. The judge's response? A one-day extension. Just one. Like asking for a vacation and getting a long lunch break. Why so limited? This small delay has triggered big speculation. Is this just about paperwork, or something deeper? Whispers suggest secret settlement talks are happening behind the scenes. When Hollywood goes quiet, something big is usually brewing. And the silence? Deafening. Not a word from Blake, Ryan, Wayfarer, or their legal teams. That silence is fueling more questions. What are they hiding? Some sources say the delay could be linked to an upcoming project, maybe something so major it's taking priority. Or is it a distraction? A strategic move to shift public focus? The couple does have rumored projects in the works, and in Hollywood, timing is never random. Every move is curated. This delay might be less about legal trouble and more about narrative control. And here's the juicy part. There's talk that other A-listers could get dragged into this mess. If true, we might be watching the start of a full-blown celebrity courtroom saga. Still, Blake and Ryan are pros at managing public image. Whether it's cheeky online banter or poised red carpet glam, they know how to control the story. So what's really going on here? Is this legal delay a sign of deeper trouble, a hidden strategy, or just Hollywood business as usual? One thing's for sure, this isn't over. The next twist could change everything. And in true Hollywood fashion, the final act is never what it seems.
Actually, yesterday, February 10th, it's dated, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds went back to Judge Lehman and were like, actually, we can't make that date. We can't do February 14th. We need more time. We actually for some reason need to pull together some more things in order to enter in our final complaint before we get this onto the schedule. And so they were asking specifically for them to move the extension date to March 5th, 2025. So from the 14th to the 5th, they want basically like another 2 weeks on top of another week. And in my head, I'm going like, for what? They're also asking to also extend the deadline for the time to file any motion to dismiss to March 20th. And so they got this in, and they write this like very, which I'll show on the show tomorrow, like, respectfully, we're asking to amend, we need more time to amend. And like, I'm bringing this, I'm like, it feels like they're just buying themselves time. Like, what do you need time? You filed this lawsuit initially, you had the receipts, you got debunked. Why do you need much? If you're just telling the truth and you've got some smoking gun, drop it already. There's a compelling piece of this, by the way, where I'm not going to speak about it today. I'll wait for the show tomorrow. My life is crazy. And 1 minute I'm like Brigitte Macron, and then the next minute I'm on a live talking about Blake Live. I'm interested in everything. This is my problem in life. Anyways, for tomorrow, I'll get into what the theories are about why she's doing that. There was one TikToker who had his video removed because he was contacted and told essentially they're trying to lobby people to join a lawsuit so they can give the lawsuit some teeth. And I'm guessing that those people are saying, no way, Jose, I'm not getting involved in this mess, because there's zero upside in getting involved right now. I mean, you would just have to be a person who just had a knack for pain. I don't know, like just like into it, like a masochist. I don't know. Why would you want to get involved in it? It's so messy and it's so ugly. Taylor Swift is trying to flee the country under umbrellas right now because she's getting dragged into this, and she still needs.
Just when you thought this Hollywood courtroom drama had reached its peak, Judge Lehman flipped the script with a ruling that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, two of Tinseltown's golden stars, had petitioned for a bit more time in their legal fight with Wayfair Studios. A simple ask, right? Wrong. What they got from the judge was less mercy and more message. Imagine expecting a warm hug and getting a cold legal slap instead. That's what happened. And here's how it all unfolded. Picture the courtroom, sleek, tense, and buzzing with quiet anticipation. Judge Lehman, known for his strict courtroom decorum, sat perched at the bench with his morning coffee, flipping through the motion papers like a man skimming a script he's already bored with. On his left, Blake and Ryan's legal team, well-dressed and visibly anxious, leaned forward, clinging to hope. On his right, the lawyers for Wayfair Studios, sharp as razors, looked ready to pounce. Their message to the court? We've waited long enough. Your Honor, one of Wayfair's attorneys began, with a tone that sliced through the courtroom like a blade. This case isn't new. It's not complicated. The defendants have had ample time. We're not here to play dress up. We're here to resolve a real dispute. And frankly, there's no excuse for delay. It was a moment that felt like watching someone tell Hollywood royalty, you may shine on the red carpet, but that doesn't work here. And just like that, the courtroom energy shifted. The Valentine's Day setting made the contrast even starker. While the world outside was exchanging roses and sweet notes, Blake and Ryan were sitting in a courtroom, waiting to hear whether their request for more time would be granted or shot down in flames. Then came the drumroll moment. Judge Lehman leaned forward, adjusted his glasses, and delivered the verdict. 1 day. Just one. Not a week. Not a few extra days to sort things out. Just 24 hours. The kind of extension that feels more like a warning than a gift. It was like asking for a vacation and getting a smoke break instead. Legal observers couldn't help but laugh. Quietly, of course. But here's the deeper meaning. Judge Lehman wasn't just managing time. He was sending a signal. With that brief extension, he essentially told Blake and Ryan, enough with the theatrics. This isn't Hollywood. This is a courtroom. Insiders say this move reflects exactly the kind of Judge Lehman is. Precise, impatient with delays, and deeply committed to keeping cases on track. He's built a reputation for cutting through the noise and getting to the point. If a trial is a movie, Lehman's not here for the filler scenes. And guess who's smiling the most right now? Wayfair Studios. Their legal team might not have walked out with a total victory, but they got the next best thing, a win on momentum. They forced the court to acknowledge the urgency. They reminded everyone that celebrity status doesn't mean courtroom privilege. In Judge Lehman's courtroom, everyone plays by the same rules. So what's next? Blake and Ryan are officially on the clock. One day. That's all they've got. It's a race against time to prepare, present, and protect their position. No more cushions. No more comfort zones. Just pressure, deadlines, and the looming eyes of a judge who's already lost his patience. And let's not forget, the public is watching. This isn't just legal drama. It's a high-stakes story unfolding in real time, with reputations, contracts, and millions of dollars hanging in the balance. Whether Blake and Ryan rise under pressure or falter under the weight of courtroom expectations, one thing's for sure. Judge Lehman is setting the pace, and he's not slowing down for anyone.
Stay tuned.
This case just took a sharp turn, and we're all watching how it ends.
Back to this. So the judge came back with his decision, slapped him down. First, Wayfarer said we don't want them to be able to extend. This is ridiculous. What are we waiting for? Let's get this party started. And so their lawyers came in and were like, they're dragging their feet here. There's no reason. There is no reason why they can't meet this deadline of February 14th in terms of filing their amended complaint. Like me, I don't know about you guys, but you're doing Valentine's Day. I'm staying in to read this amended complaint. I'm not going to any restaurant. I need to hear. I need to read what they are going to try to drop back to answer Justin Baldoni. I am sorry, I'm not going to be stuck at some restaurant having to pick between 3 options on Valentine's Day when I could be reading an amended complaint filed by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. That seems fun to me. I hope my husband, who definitely does not think that sounds fun, is up for that, because that's what we're going to be doing for Valentine's Day. Okay? So the judge gets both of their arguments. Wayfarer's they don't need more time. Blake's I do, but I can't really tell you why. And other than Ryan says, and the lawyers say I need time. Judge Lehman just came back, slaps him down. He's no. Okay, I'm going to give you more time. He does give them more time. He gives them one more day. Just love this guy. This is amazing. And his order, he writes it back. He's just you have not presented a valid argument for why you need this extension. Drop your arguments here. What are your arguments? You had a lot of time to think about this. You had all year. Judge Lehman didn't say this I'm saying this now, but he's look, you had all year plotting to take down this guy. Okay, you had time to consider this. Okay, even your BFF Taylor knows something's up because she's not saying anything about your alleged sexual harassment. She's hiding under umbrellas. Getting on her plane, fleeing the Super Bowl after being booed. I don't believe you. Okay, Judge Lehman didn't say any of that, but he did say that he was only giving them a 1-day extension. So rather than it being due on February the 14th, which is a Friday, he's giving them the weekend to scramble if they need extra time. And he's saying their amendment is due on the 17th. So technically, I could go out for Valentine's Day, and you could go out too. I wanted you guys to know that because he's giving them a 1-day extension. I'm going to assume that they're going to take it until February 17th, but I will be watching. Obviously, I am on the case. I am now the security for the Baldoni team. That's not sure either. I never met him and I don't know him, but I feel in my heart that we are cousins. He's just my annoying, very happy, peaceful cousin who's just way too nice. And he just needs to get a noogies. I'm just going to give him a noogies. If I ever meet Justin Baldoni, I'm going to give him.
Just when we thought the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds versus Wayfair Studios courtroom saga couldn't get messier, Judge Lehman came in with the legal equivalent of a mic drop.
So here's what went down.
Blake and Ryan's legal team filed for more time to submit their amended complaint. Wayfair Studios? Not having it. Their lawyers marched into court like they were on a mission, basically saying, "This is ridiculous. We've waited long enough. Let's get this show on the road." According to them, Blake and Ryan had plenty of time. The original deadline to submit the amendment was February 14th, and I mean, what better way to spend Valentine's Day than curled up with a hot amended complaint and a glass of wine, right? Who needs chocolate and prix-fixe menus when you could be digging through legal drama from Hollywood royalty? But back to the court. Judge Lehman listened to both sides. Wayfair with their fast-track energy, and Blake and Ryan who, well, kind of had vibes instead of an actual argument. Their team didn't provide a clear reason why they needed more time. Just a vague, "our lawyers say we need it" line, which, in this courtroom, doesn't fly. Enter Judge Lehman. And he was ice cold. He granted them more time, technically, but just 1 extra day. That's it. Not a full week. Not even the long weekend they were probably hoping for. Just a single 24-hour extension. The new deadline? February 17th. So yeah, you can go out on Valentine's Day. But make sure you're free on the 17th, because that's when things are going to get spicy. The judge wasn't subtle, either. In his order, he basically said, "You didn't give me a good reason, but fine. 1 day. That's all you get." And you could feel the judicial side-eye through the screen. The subtext was clear. You've had time. You've had a year. You've had lawyers. And if this is the best you can come up with, I'm not about to let you stall any longer. Now, let's get into what's going on behind the scenes, because it gets even juicier. Word on the street, Blake and Ryan are scrambling to pull together not just a better case, but a bigger team. Think Hollywood's version of the Avengers. Allegedly, they've been trying to recruit other A-listers to join their legal effort against Wayfair Studios. Not as co-plaintiffs necessarily, but to show that this case reflects industry-wide problems. But guess what? It's not working. Sources say one celeb after another has turned them down. And in an industry built entirely on image, PR control, and who you're seen next to, that's brutal. Stars who'd usually jump at a chance to be associated with Blake and Ryan suddenly want nothing to do with this legal drama. Even worse, one TikTok user who claimed to have leaked details about their celeb recruitment efforts said their video got mysteriously taken down. Conspiracy? PR cleanup? Coincidence? You decide. And then there's Taylor Swift. Yes, that Taylor Swift, whose name is starting to get whispered in connection to this mess. It's all speculative, but the silence is loud. Taylor, known for being outspoken and publicly supportive of her friends, has stayed completely out of this. Even during the Super Bowl, umbrellas, escapes, no comment. So here's what we're left with. A-list couple, legal deadline, 1 extra day, and a whole lot of unanswered questions. The amended complaint is now due February 17th. Legal insiders say this filing could be make or break. Will it reshape the narrative? Bring new allegations? Widen the scope of the case? Or will it fall flat and confirm that the judge was right to start tightening the leash? This is no longer just a celeb lawsuit. This is a high-stakes, high-profile battle of narrative, power, and timing. Judge Lehman isn't here for red carpet drama. He wants facts, and he wants them now. So buckle up. Whether you're staying in for the legal tea or just checking in between dinner reservations, this isn't the last twist we'll see. Blake and Ryan are down to the wire, and the world's watching.
Anyways, that's the update. I will give you more on what is allegedly going on, allegedly in the background of what their strategy is of basically pleading with anybody to get involved with this case. I'll tell you where that tidbit is coming from. Also, as a major thing, this is not a joke. One of Ryan Reynolds' teachers growing up reached out to me and wrote to me some insane things about little Ryan Reynolds. Like, basically, he was always a little cray-cray, and he's got some behavioral issues. And I'm going to read that on the show tomorrow because that's just funsies. That feels like a hump day funsies vibe. Anyways, that is a summation. Judge has shot her down. We are going to be able to read Blake and Ryan's amendments to their lawsuit on the 17th, being the absolute latest. See you guys then.
Remember when Taylor Swift and Blake Lively were friendship goals? Red carpets, cozy holiday pics, inside jokes. It was the kind of A-list Bond fans dream about. But now, that picture-perfect friendship may be showing serious cracks. And the timing couldn't be more dramatic. Taylor's name is suddenly surfacing in Blake and Ryan Reynolds' headline-grabbing legal battle with Wayfair Studios, and not in the way fans expected. Let's rewind. For years, Taylor and Blake were inseparable. But ever since Blake and Ryan stepped into legal chaos, Taylor's gone radio silent. No social media posts. No public support. Not even cryptic lyrics to decode. Just silence. And fans are noticing. Some are joking she's gone full celebrity witness protection, dodging questions like she's in a spy thriller. But here's where things go from awkward to explosive. Insiders say Taylor could be pulled into the case as a witness. That's right. There's real buzz that Swift may be deposed, which means testifying under oath.
Why?
Because her longtime friendship with Blake could mean she's privy to behind-the-scenes info, private convos, early business dealings, maybe even legal strategy. And yet, she's said nothing, which, in Hollywood, sometimes says everything. Some say she's just staying out of the mess to protect her brand, especially after her own PR hiccups, like the Super Bowl booing incident. Others speculate she's been legally advised to stay quiet. Meanwhile, the spotlight turns to Ryan Reynolds and a blast from his past. An old teacher of his came forward, painting young Ryan as a rebellious, boundary-pushing kid. On the surface, it sounds like harmless nostalgia, but the timing raises eyebrows. Is someone trying to undermine his image just as the lawsuit heats up? Sure, childhood antics don't define adulthood. Ryan's a father, philanthropist, and mega-successful actor. But in a courtroom, and in the court of public opinion, every detail counts. And here's the kicker. Blake and Ryan recently requested a single extra day to amend their complaint. Judge Lehman granted it, but made it clear, no more delays. The new deadline, February 17th, 2025. That's when the couple will finally have to lay their cards on the table.